Hey there, y'all. Disney D Prince here today with another Make It Yourself Monday. Today we are zooming in a little bit more on the process of making one of these sets of jewels. We are going to be imitating our Princess Diana style necklace, and this time we're going to be using the big diamond faceted jewels instead of one of the colored jewels that we normally use. So I'm actually going to use this offset yellow, like kind of natural pearl vibe color beads that I ordered instead of the standard pure white that we have been using. And these will look great on darker tone dolls, and it'll be awesome. I have already pre-strung our string as usual on our needle for our thread, and we are going to try to make an entire set that is slightly different from our last one. We're going to try to make some more complicated earrings and more complicated bracelet to go with it. All right, so let's get started. I hope I keep everything in frame. I am going to try to do that just because I want you guys to see everything that I am doing. Things are stuck on my little bead container. Okay. Right. Okay. We're in there. And tying it off twice, like we normally do, to secure it, especially because we are going to be going through this hole twice. So we really want that to be as secure as possible. Okay, so like we would normally, we're going to start off with one of our big crystals to kind of secure it at the back. Normally I would use large pearls, but because I only have the one size, we're going to use 5 crystals all the way around to secure those. And again, I'm using the white thread, so hopefully it doesn't show through too much compared to using the silver where it would kind of close out the middle of that. And I'm actually going to take our 4 other beads out and close this up so that way we can get a little bit more working space right here. And I'm going to set these right there so we don't forget them. And then what we want to do on the first round of these, we figured out, is we want to do 5 and then 4 underneath. Trying to find the best spot. I'm gonna have to set that off screen. So we do 5 for our bottom layer. Three, 4, 5. And then pull them down to that one to where it looks a little bit more muted. And then we get our next large bead. Oh, I'm getting this thread caught on everything today because I'm trying to keep all of my tools in kind of plain sight. And then our next one, we're going to use 6 for our middle sections. 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then our other bead. This is our middle or statement kind of bead. And don't worry, this isn't going to be as boring as it seems, because we are going to go back and do it again. Three, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then another one of those. And then we want to do 5 for our last one to match the 5 we did on the other side. And then, of course, we're going to finish it off with our last big bead. So that way our initial necklace looks like this. Very shiny, very pretty, but not quite so blindingly white. And then we're going to, of course, go through and attach to the third one. Because remember, we want to skip a link in the middle in case we want to take that apart. Okay, so we do that to close it off. And then go through and knot it once. Okay, making sure to keep that tension. And we want to knot it second time, just to make sure it is secured. And then from there, we're going to weave back into this large bead. Doing it kind of carefully. That's also going to pull your bead kind of onto your knot. And then what we're going to want to do is go back through and do our smaller beads now, again, with one less. So if we did 5, we're going to do 4, and if we did 6, we're going to do 5. So our first section that we're weaving back through is going to have 4. And I'm going to actually keep putting these back because it's a little more involved this time around. But you want to go through that large bead and make sure everything's tight. And then we're going to grab our beads again. Okay. Right. And then 5 for our front sections. Oop. Okay. 5 for our front sections, and you don't really have to care whether or not it's above or below, because those strings will pretty freely rotate. around each other. What you want to do is try to just go through that big bead. You can go through the others if you feel like it, but you want to make that kind of doubled up pattern. And then because we're doing the middle section again, we'd get another 5. Now you can keep all of your beads out if you want to do that. I just am trying to kind of keep them from going everywhere. Five. Okay. Went off my screen. Sorry. And then okay. Just going through here. And then our last section that we're going to do is 4. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. And then we're going to go this. And what we want to do next, now that we've got that secured, is go up and through our thread to secure them. What we don't want to do is get things caught in there. Like that. Because we want to do is be able to create that secondary tension to make sure everything is tight, to keep that shape tight. And then we're going to go through and we are going to knot it a second. Actually, I've lost count of the amount of times we've knotted at this point. I think this is 6. So you're going to make like 6 knots. 6 knots and 3 pass-throughs. Okay. And then we wind up with this lovely kind of double-sided necklace. Oop, stabbing myself a little bit. And then from there, we're going to go through and do our normal process of grabbing the very next link after our the very next link after the one that we secured, and lifting it off, and we're going to save that link. So now we've got a nice free necklace. And you want to kind of put your shorter bead sequences on top, so that way it does do that curve. And it's really cute. You can again change these out for colored beads like we've done before. You can make just the center bead colored. Or you can do pearls like we did on this original one. And then from there, we just take our scissors or our nippers, whatever you guys want to use. and trim. Do want to make sure we get kind of as close as possible so we can do that. And then what I like to do is stick it on the form, just like this, so that way we can see how it looks. And more importantly, so we can go through and put a little bit of glue there on those threads. Again, I use my little Loctite glue because it's got my little handles that I can use. And I just go through and put a little bit over the threads, like a little dot here, to kind of make sure those threads are sealed onto that chain. And you just kind of blow on that until it's dry. Or you can not be a savage and wait for them to dry. But either way, those are going to dry like that. And then we've got our lovely necklace ready to go. And that only took us about 15 minutes, real time. So we've got that, and we still have a lot of thread left over, which was intentional on my part. So that way we can do a whole set from one needle threading, because I hate threading needles. So I'd rather pull thread through all my little tiny beads than try to get the everything to work. Now, I always double knot at the end of mine. You don't have to, but I like to. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bracelet in that same style. So again, I'm going to go through and secure by going through the middle of the thread. Like this. I'm going to snip off the end thread now so we don't have a ton of it left over. Then I'm going to go through and knot it twice. We'll try to get right on top of that first knot to make things a little bit more concise. Just like that, nice and tight. And then we are going to use the same color beads, and we're only going to use 3 crystals this time around. So we're going to take our crystals, and we're going to grab 3 of them. I'm going to set them down there. And it should only be probably 3 beads between each crystal. So we're going to do 3 and 2 probably. We'll see what it looks like when I do 3. But we'll see, because what we want is this to really only be about 2 centimeters total when it's done. Which is 20 millimeters, in case you're wondering. And our beads are 2 millimeters each. So that would be 10 small beads, but we're using 3 bigger ones, and these are 4 millimeters, so that's 12 right there. So I think this will work, but we're gonna double check. Double check my math. Okay. And I keep a handy dandy little chart down here of measurements that I've made so I can compare them, and that is the perfect size. I'm very proud of myself on that. Tiny math. Not like I don't do math for a living. I do accounting and not the fun accounting. Whoop, where are you going, girl? And then we're going to pass through our thread, and we're going to hold this up here to make sure it gets to the right point evenly, just like that. And then what we'll do from there, hopefully, is we will grab 4 beads. Yep. And we're going to do the same thing that we did through our necklace. Is we're going to grab those beads. Did I did not tie this. Hold on, I was a step ahead of myself. Gotta put these back. I forgot to knot. Did I go through the wrong one? I may have gone through the wrong one. Oh, I did. Okay. Hold on, take 2. Good thing I didn't do that because I was sewn through the wrong chain link, because I went through the 4th link unintentionally. Like I went through the 3rd one, and then I accidentally did the 4th one also. What am I doing? What? I forgot how to attach. Hold on. Dee-dee-dee. I haven't done a stacked bracelet like this yet, and my brain just kind of short-circuited. So, sorry guys. We were doing so well. 1, 2, 3. Okay. There we go. Okay, just like that. And then we go in through this one. And we're going to tie it off. Everything's very shiny on this one. Okay. All right, and that should work. And then from there, we are going to go back down through this gem. Nope, we don't want to go through the first bead. We just want to go through the gem. Just like that. Then we want to grab our 4. And actually I might just grab 2 at a time, because I'm going to have to get up there nice and close to get through those gemstones. Okay, just like that. And then it can be a little tight to get through these sometimes, but that's what makes it all the worth it. And we wind up with a little stacked look again. Let's grab those last 2. Okay. And again, this gets easier as you do it without an audience. Okay. And then we'll go like this. Okay. And then to secure it again, we go through the I feel like I did something wrong there. There's something off about my thing that I went through. Dang it. There we go. Okay. Just got a little tangled. And that's what we try to prevent. It's a little harder the smaller you go, but you can still get it nice and neat. So now we've got this and that, and we've got a little miniature version. Don't worry, we are going to open that up a little bit. And if we need to, we can leave one of the extra links on to make it wide enough to go on the Barbie arm. Okay. And let's see if we can get this last link off. It does not want to come off, weirdly. Okay, I got it. There we go. And then we have it tied off tight. We're gonna take that off. And we've got our teeny tiny bracelet. That is just the necklace in miniature. And we're gonna grab one of our jump rings from the Dollar Tree. These can almost be used like bangles if you widen them just a little bit, but it's okay. And then what we're gonna want to do is grab this middle link with our itty bitty pliers like that. And then we'll want to go through and slide it onto the jump ring. Just like that. A nice open loop. And then from there, I don't know why I'm lifting up her arm like I need to finagle it a lot. And then we want to just go like this. And you can close it back up with your fingers. And then we just kind of pop it on there to make sure it fits. And again, like with the necklace, you kind of just want to make sure the short beads go on the same side, so it creates the same kind of vibe. And we've got a nice little bracelet. I don't know if that's focusing. I can't really tell. But it's very cute. So we've got a stacked bracelet and a nice stacked necklace. Now the last thing that we have to do is make some more complicated earrings. So what we're going to do is grab our little gemstones. We're going to take, I think we're going to make like 3 per. So we're going to do 6 of these. Yeah. Because we're going to make these earrings a little more blinged out. And then what we want to grab is our earring findings. And we want to just grab 2 of our standard post. You can use sewing pins also. It works either way. So what I'm going to do this, do that, and then use my more heavy duty nippers kind of at the base to make our earring pin. Just like that. And we can use one of our jewels to go at the top. These are going to be about the same size as 6/0 beads. Oop. Don't run away. Silly thing. So that'll work if we want to do that. We could also use one of the pearls if we want to make it a little bit more of a relaxed look. So I think what I'll do is grab 2 pearls for that. I'm going to put those down there so I remember where they're at. Okay. But we also need to knot our thread at the end of this before we forget. Okay. Again, I do it twice just because. Zip one. And we want to grab our chain, because that's how we make all of our things. is we secure to a link because it's easier to tie onto this than it is to just tie around an earring post. And that means our earrings are pretty interchangeable, kind of like the earring kit that came with the Skipper's First Job playset, which is a great little playline set that was available at Target. Okay, and then we are going to go to this again. It's not as necessary to like double and triple knot it up on earrings because they're not really going to be under tension like bracelets and necklaces, but it's still a little bit easier. I'm going to do those. And then we're going to start with the large bead to kind of suck up that knot. And then we're going to do, I think, 2 in between the first one of our small beads. Oop, come back thing. And then 3 in between our next ones. Okay, just like that. And then what we want to do is just go back up through our small beads this time around. Just like this. And then because we're going to make a little bit more of a pattern this time, we're going to just go up through the first 2 beads. And we're going to grab 3 beads to make a loop here at the top. 2, 3 to make a loop right here because we got to go through this one again anyway. And you want to keep tension kind of at the bottom of all these, just because. And then from there, we're going to go through our, whatchamacallit, did I go under this? I may have gone under it. Okay, just like that. And then because it's earrings, just 1 knot here at the top. Okay, and we've got some fun drops that incorporate that style a little bit more. And we can take them off from the very next loop, or the very next link is what I mean to say when I say loop. And then we grab our little whatchamacallits. Well, this one does not want to go on. Oh, it's a little bit. It's a little bit flushed. What I'm going to try to do is make it a little more pointed. Whoop. I don't know. Yep, that went over here. Sometimes the holes are going to be slightly undersized or oversized, just depending on the bead. And when in doubt, we use the big bead. We can make this a little bit more of a bling bling earring, just like that. And what we want to do is we want to take that off. We want to just do that. Again, we would use our super glue right there if we were going to do that. You could even super glue it once it's on the post if you wanted to make it a more permanent kind of look, but I'm not going to do that right this second. We are going to make the other earring first. And we're just going to go through and do the same thing. 2 knots, trying to stack them. Okay, bueno. And we do need one more. Actually, we need 2 more gems because we have 3 on the strand and 1 on the post. Okay. I think these are actually the other color. Yeah. Okay. And from there, we're going to secure onto the chain like usual. Just going through the strand, just like that. And now that we've got it secured, we can trim that last little bit. So hopefully we can kind of tie it up in our next knot. I find that pinching the chain link between your hand as you're tightening it results in the best kind of stacked knot, so it's not all over the chain link. And then, of course, we're starting with our big one, and then we're going to do 2 on our first section. Then 3, or then a big bead, and then 3. Yep. And then our third big bead, which we're going to do like that. And then we're going to go up through our I don't know why I'm holding the tension on the bottom bead. Like I need it tensioned on the bottom bead. Okay. And then we're gonna just go like this, trying to keep that tension so we can pull it. Not like that. This is why we try to keep the tension on these top beads. Not always as easy. They like to run away from the links. Okay, there we go, finally. And then what we want to do is grab three for the top section to make that curve. Okay. And we want to go up through the first large bead. And we want to try our best to make it pretty. And then once we're up there, we loop through. Whoop. And whoop. Go through the thread to secure that. I think we may have accidentally broken the thread on the first go round. Ooh. It's no good, it's no bueno. I don't know if I missed it or if I broke it, I'm not quite sure. I think the original one's still attached, but I heard something pop. That's why I'm like, I'm not sure. Okay, either way. 60% sure it's still attached. These are not super complicated if I do have to make another one. But still looks cute. Might fall apart in 30 minutes, but you never know. Anyway, that is the risk you run sometimes. These, and again, we're gonna take that extra link off. Now we've got this ready to go. Ooh, and we are now tangled in our chain somehow. Okay, and we want to go like that. And we want to prep our second post. Again, you want to try to get it at a little bit of an angle. You don't need it to be crazy long, just because the vinyl on the doll head is not that thick. But and if you are making it at home without an already like needle sharp one, you might have to kind of just work with that until you get it to the point where it needs to be. Because sometimes they don't love to be the right size. Ooh, where'd you go? Right here. And sometimes it might be the jewel hole. So when in doubt, check another jewel. Dang it, it's not the jewel hole. I don't know why this one's not cooperating. But we're gonna try to make it work. There we go, okay. Don't know why it did not want to go in. Okay. And then we've got our, this one does not like me. Like I'm wrangling puppies is what it feels like. But yeah, so there we've got our earrings. So, let me show you guys how that looks on the dog. Dull. I was saying puppies in my head. So again, we just take off our other earrings. I'm actually going to take off the head as well. Okay. There we go. And we don't need to keep that bracelet on. Okay. And then, and this is just a standard extra body that I had. Because if you follow the channel, you know I put all of my dolls onto Made to Move bodies. And so I wind up with a lot of extra articulated bodies. So there we go. We have made a very lovely set of earrings. I'm not super thrilled with how wide these big beads come out, but the best part of that is that we can adjust. We can literally just go, I don't like how these look on there, and just take the post and put it on there without the jewel, and make it more flush with the head. So that way it doesn't look like she has giant crystal AirPods coming out. And you just put them right back in, just like that. Just because you can. So now we've got a very cute set, just like that. And it really only took us still under an hour, even with my own little mistakes and a new, more complicated beading pattern for the bracelet. So if you guys enjoyed it, let me know in the comments. If you like that the videos are more zoomed in on Make It Over Mondays, let me know. And as always, follow along for some more fun content here on the channel. All right, y'all. Be good. Bye.